Hi everyone, it's Hannah Ross. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to show you how to set up an iPhone minimally. I went from this, yes, that is an iPhone 6, with a very cracked and just broken screen. There's like a big black strip on the side, to this, an iPhone 10, which of course to most people at this point is yesterday's news, but to me, wow, what a luxury. So let's just hop into the steps of how I, as a minimalist, set up this brand new or new to me iPhone. So first things first, they will automatically transfer everything from your old phone to your new phone. This was such a luxury and a time saver. It took like just a few minutes. So then Apple is going to prompt you with a few simple questions that you need to respond to. Honestly, to most of the features, I just say no right away. I will go back in and set things up if I want to and I need to, but I like to keep my phone extraordinarily minimal, features included, so I always say no to the vast majority of these setup features. The next thing you should do, but I almost forgot to do, is change out your SIM card. So I didn't do that until the very end, but really it should be at this point, if your phone is a phone with a SIM card, to switch over your SIM card right away so you don't forget it and dispose of it with your old phone. So now we have like a fully functioning phone and we are on the home screen. And the first thing I do when I get any new phone is I go into every single application, see if it's running properly, if there's any updates that I need to do, or if I need to like log into any of these accounts. So I will literally go through and click on every single application and make sure it is looking good. And inevitably, when you switch over your phone, Apple will download additional applications. So I didn't consent to these, I don't want them, and they are applications that I do not use. So of course I am going to go in and delete those additional applications. And the next thing that I did, and this might be advice that's particular to very old phone users like me, is I deleted apps that I wasn't allowed to delete on my old iPhone 6. So I ended up deleting the health app. I don't want my cell phone tracking my health information, thank you very much. And number two, I deleted the Find Your iPhone app. I actually reinstalled this, but we'll get into that when I do the What's on My iPhone video later on. So after deleting apps I wasn't allowed to on my iPhone 6, I then turned my focus to the widgets. As you can imagine, I am not a widget gal. It's enough for me to have an application. If I'm going to go into my phone, I don't mind taking the extra step to click on the application. I don't need like the weather there and my photos. I have such a minimal phone anyways. The applications are my widgets. So I will swipe to the right, go in, edit my widgets, and delete them all so that page is clear and clutter-free. Next up, in a similar fashion, I will ensure that my control center also meets my needs. So I will go into the settings and into the control center settings and make sure that it's only what I absolutely need. And the control center is when you swipe down, at least on an iPhone 10, from the top right corner, it will bring up just a few items, and some of them you are allowed to delete. So I only had 4 items in my control center, but I've actually deleted them even further since, and now I only have the flashlight and the screen record device because those don't have an application anywhere else on my phone. And now comes the big kahuna, okay? I go to my settings app and go through every single thing. I will ensure the display and brightness is correct, that Siri and search is turned off. I will take a look even at the general settings, make sure they suit my needs. And then I will get into the meat and potatoes of everything, and that is the specific settings for each individual application. Again, when you transfer over to a new phone, I find that some settings just magically pop back up and they magically turn on. I am someone who turns off 98% of settings. So I don't mind having to go back if I see a need. So let's say I'm using an application and I'm like, oh, this application actually does require location services on Google Maps, let's say. I don't mind going back to the settings and turning on that, location ability while the app is in use, as opposed to having everything turned on and me not even understanding or comprehending what they really do when they're turned on. Of course, that is just my personal preference, but even if you're someone who likes to have a lot of these features and a lot of these settings turned on, I still think it's a really good idea to go through your phone setting by setting, application by application, to ensure that it really meets your needs. Most people just open their phone and they're like, yeah, everything works, no problem. But to really understand your phone, to understand what this device is and how it's impacting your life, I do think it's a good idea to thoroughly investigate the settings. Next up, I will do one final sweep. This is like final cut time as a minimalist to see if there is anything else lingering on my phone that I really don't use or need. For me, my final cuts included actually deleting the Apple Music application from my phone. I used to have a subscription to Apple Music and listen to it so much through this application. But as of late, I don't have the subscription. And if I'm going to listen to music on my phone, I actually just opt for YouTube through a web browser. So I got pretty ruthless and deleted that Apple Music application. And then secondly, I looked at the App Store. This was an application that I couldn't delete, but I also didn't want to. How often do I download an application? Like, I don't know, maybe once every year or two, but you still need to have access to it. So all I did was I kind of hid it within my app library. So of course I didn't actually delete an application, but I still minimized that clutter on the home screen. And then the final step might be the most fun one. This is doing the final reorganization once I have the amount of applications and the specific applications that I want to keep on my phone. If you want to hear more about how I go through this reorganization process and structure my phone, definitely stay tuned because I'm going to be doing a what's on my minimal iPhone very, very soon. And with that, my friends, that is it. My phone is set up. I will probably do another just quick once over. I will, swipe to the right, make sure my widgets are looking good. I will swipe to the left, make sure my app library is looking good. Check my control center, just, quickly check the lock screen and the home screen, and that is it. So I know that most people would say that this is going way too far into it. You don't need to check all these applications. You don't need to check your settings. And you know what? That is true. If you have 5 minutes to set up your phone, sure, you don't need to go through this very intense process. But if you have any more time than that and you're genuinely interested in, what this device is bringing into or taking away from your life, I really do suggest going through your phone with a fine-tooth comb. In some weird way, it's also kind of empowering to me as someone who is not very technologically advanced. I like knowing all of these different capabilities that my phone has by taking a really close look at the settings. I feel more in control of my device. And I think I used to feel like my device controlled me. Now I see it as a tool, something that genuinely adds to my life, not something that I'm confused about or that takes away from my life or that I just don't understand the inner workings of. So I love my phone and I am beyond grateful to have a really good quality iPhone 10 in my life, but I want to work with my phone, be on the same team, not be in opposition to my phone, constantly fighting this technology, or in an even worse case, addicted to my phone and just constantly using it as a distraction method. So that is how I choose to set up my iPhone minimally. The only thing that wasn't minimal about it was the amount of time allocated to actually go through the setup process, but Other than that, it's a very minimalist phone. So that was it. My brand new iPhone 10 is all organized now, and I hope that you guys really enjoyed coming along to see how I set up my brand new iPhone. If you did happen to like this video, then feel free to give it a like. If you like me, if you like the content that I'm producing on this channel in general, then definitely consider subscribing. It would truly mean the world to me. All right, everyone, well, just thank you so much for being here, and I really hope to catch you in my next minimalism video. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.